All right, in the meantime, Saudi Arabia's Attorney General is saying this is just the start of an anti-corruption push. This as the new sheikh in charge is getting rid of the other sheikhs who used to be in charge, or at least jailing them. For now, jailing, of course, in Saudi Arabia has a different meaning than we might have it here. They're holed up in the Ritz-Carlton. But we don't know where this is going. We do know that Lebanon and tensions with Iran escalating, Yemen firing missiles. This is the stuff of which oil prices could soar. Haven't yet. Maybe, possible, soon. The former Gulf Oil CEO, Joe Petrowski. Joseph, what do you think?
Well, it would affect prices to the upside if Saudi Arabia certainly can't export 10 million barrels a day, which is their exports, but it's not what it will be in the past, Neil, because of the U.S. shale and U.S. production. Our proven reserves are greater than theirs, and our production is actually exceeding theirs. And if we go into the $60 range on WTI, you're going to turn back a lot of shale producers. I mean, long term, I think there are much more geopolitical implications that we want Saudi Arabia to get through this peacefully, to weed out the corruption and make the transformation from an extraction society to a global economy.
But do you think they can?
Peacefully.
I mean, this looks a little weird, to put it mildly, when you have Prince Mohammed bin Salman, tightening his grip on power, getting rid of or, containing, jailing some of his rivals within the kingdom, family members, a lot of them. That doesn't sound good, but play it out.
Well, certainly he's stretching a little bit and settling political scores, and there is a part of this that is enriching his own base and his own power at the expense of rivals. But I do think he really is serious about wanting to weed out corruption.
So you don't think it's the start of a revolution, or Saudi Arabia just sort of, going sort of like what Egypt did with the spring uprising or anything like that?
No, but if it's not handled properly, first of all, if there's no change, there will be a revolution, because, Saudi's got a lot of things that right now are very combustible. They have a young population. They have a large Shia minority population, particularly in the east, which is where they have to expand their oil production if they want to keep revenues up in a declining oil price environment. And of course, Iran, their neighbor, is a bad actor and will foment a revolution if changes aren't made in the country. And the people, with the distribution of income being so ungreat and the corruption they see in the high lifestyles of the other sheiks, really adds to that. So he really has to affect an anti-corruption campaign. I think that's very positive. The problem is, this is not Teddy Roosevelt in 1900 busting trusts. He's got to make sure that he does it with due process, doesn't reach too far, and doesn't try to just enhance his own political power.
So when he's agitating with the Iranians, or talking about Lebanon agitating with the Iranians, or Yemen firing missiles in the country, you don't think it could come to war within just that group of countries, do you?
Well, I think Iran and Saudi Arabia could eventually go to war. They are the two major actors in the Middle East, and certainly have no love lost for each other, either from a political or religious standpoint. So I am worried about that. But again, I think he has to make the reforms, but he has to do it in a way that, and this is a difficult balance. Okay. When the Shah started to, I think a good analogy is when the Shah opened the lid a little bit, it really just exploded. Most of these countries are, to use a cooking analogy, pressure cookers. So you need to let the steam out gradually.
Okay. All right. The Shah of Iran, of course, did that and opened the doors to Khomeini, and we all know how that turned out. Very good to see you, Joe. Thank you. Joe Petrowski.